Okay. Good day, everyone. Before we start our presentation, kindly kindly have a short prayer with by Miss Madrigal. Miss Madrigal.
Salamat po sa araw na ito at muli po kaming nagkita at sana po ay maging success po ang aming ngayong presentation. At ingatan mo po kami sa pang-araw-araw at yun lang po. Amen.
Okay. Our first presenter is by me, Angela Acosta. First, our topic is post-mobility adjustment era. This era began in 1973 to 1974 as a result of the oil embargo generated by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries or OPEC and the resulting increase in the fuel prices. The events of the energy crisis basically changed the travel patterns throughout the world. The present era is one in which travelers continue to look to alternative group-oriented modes of transportation. Dito po mapapaliwanag po natin is noong 1973 hanggang 1974, nagsimula ang isang pagdulot ng malaking pagbabago sa paraan ng ating mundo ngayon na ang lahat ng ito ay nagsisimula noong ginawa ang Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries na isa siyang grupo na sa isang bansa na nagbebenta ng mga langis. And then, nagdesisyon ang OPEC or OPEC na pagbawalan ng pagbebenta ng langis sa ilang mga bansa na nagre-resulta ng pagtaas ng presyo ng gasolina. At dahil sa pagtaas ng gasolina natin, nagkakaroon tayo ng crisis sa ating bansa. Like, ang mga tao ay napipilitang mag-isip ng mga paraan para makatipid sa gasolina. At dito nagbabago ang mga estilo ng yung mga pang-alternatibong mga bagay na pag gugustuhin natin mas makatipid, yun ang gagawin natin kesa mag-gas pa tayo kasi nga tumataas ang gas ngayon. Ang mga tao is nagsisimula na lang maglakad, ganyan para mas makatipid. At madalang na yung may nagmomotor, may nagta-tricycle, ganyan. Kasi nga sa sobrang pagtaas ng mga gasolina or mga langis. Next slide. Historical development of the transport system. The desire to travel is stimulated with the improvement in transportation. Before World War I, it took 7 days for travelers to go from coast to coast by steam locomotive. By 1950, travelers could complete the journey in 2.5 days by train. In 1938, an airplane with the speed of 400 miles an hour made possible non-stop coast-to-coast flights of less than 8 hours. In 1950, travel time from coast to coast was less to 4 hours. At present, the Concorde can make a flight into 2.5 hours. Dito po is yun nga po, yung noong nagdigmaan sa ating bansa, may 7 araw na kailangan na makarating mula sa isang or sa kabilang ibayo na ang mangyayari is babaybayin pa yung bawat daan mga tao noon nung sinauna. Then noong 1950, mula sa patutog ang tren. Meron na tayong eroplano noon na mas mabilis pa na kapag sumakay tayo na mabilis tayo makakapunta doon kasi nasa air na tayo noon eh. Na mababaybay na natin yung buong mundo sa pamamagitan ng eroplano na sa loob ng 8 oras nandun ka na agad. Then noong 1950, mababawasan na ang oras ng pagta-travel natin na or pagpunta sa malalayo na umaabot siya ng 4 na oras na lang. And then sa kasalukuyan ngayon, ang Concorde ay nakakagawa ng paglipad sa loob ng mga kalahating oras na lang sa sobrang bilis na meron tayo ngayon sa ating transportation. And next slide.
Table 2, historical development of the transportation system. Year, mode of transport, speed, miles per hour. 600 BC or before Christ, caramel caravan, 8 miles per hour. 1600 BC, chariot, 220 miles per hour. AD, 1784, first English mail coach, 10 miles per hour. 1825, first steam locomotive, 13 per hour. 1890, improvements, steam locomotive, 100 miles per hour. 1913, land speed record, Lou Berkshire, Malcolm Campbell. Next mo ba? Nineteen 350 miles per hour. 1938, piston aircraft, 400 miles per hour. 1952, United States liner for New York to Le Havre, 41 miles per hour. 1958, jet fighter aircraft, 1,300 miles per hour. 1958, Boeing 707 and DC-8 aircraft, 600 miles per hour. 1961, spaceship Vostok 1 orbiting 1760. Next mo na. Gulo lang ako. Next mo na, pre.
Selection of transportation mode. There are many reasons why people select one transportation mode over another to their business and pleasure trips. The most common reason are cost, traveling time, safety, convenience, comfort, availability, frequency or trip or frequency of trip. Ground services, terminal for facilities and location, status and prestige and departure and arrival time. People belonging to different travel segments have different value perceptions.
Seven to eight ba akin?
Nicole.
So, Jagdish Sheth developed a theory identifying transportation variables and the value of travelers. He found out that travelers choose a travel mode based on how they psychologically weighed the five factors, namely functional, aesthetic or emotional, social organization, situational, and curiosity. Next po. Five factors. Functional utility of a mode is its expected for performance for a specific purpose. Example, departure and arrival time, safety record, the directness of the trip, and the number of stops or transfers. Pagkakaintindi ko is, ito yung parang, ano bang tawag dito sa, parang sa barko or yung GPS or yung mga um, record na halimbawa pagsasakay tayo sa isang aircraft or eroplano. Siyempre nandun yung mga arrival times natin. Wala po. Malalaman natin yung arrival times natin, yung safety records ng mga pasahero, the directness of the trip, siguro yung mga lugar na pagpupuntahan, and the number of stops or transfers. Yung mga layover po, halimbawa Japan to anumang ibang country. Aesthetic or emotional is related to such aspects of as fear, social concerns, style, luxury, comfort, and other personal feelings that form of transportation might evoke. Next.
Social or organizational shows that the frequent users of certain kinds of transportation are stereotyped according to sex, racial origin, income, price or cost, and education. So dito naman po nagkakaroon ng stereotypes pagdating sa ginagamit na transportation ang isang traveler. Like for example po, pag nakakotse, iniisip ng mga tao o mayaman. Then pag naka-jeep naman po, average lang or may low income lang yung traveler. Then situational refers to how conveniently located the particular mode of transportation and its terminal facilities are for traveler. So dito naman po pumapasok yung accessibility and convenience na kailangan ng isang traveler dun sa isang transportation. So pinipili niya yung sasakyan based kung saan siya mas convenient. Then curiosity, utility refers to the traveler's perceived need to do something new and different. So dito naman, nagiging curious yung traveler kung anong feeling ng makasakay sa ganito or ganyan. So for example nga po is yung a business traveler might choose to fly on Concorde supersonic jet. Flying transatlantic on Concorde may have a high curiosity value for many business travelers. So yung Concorde po is supersonic airliner known for its fast speeds. So since yung business traveler nga po is wala naman siya masyadong problema sa fare, so pinipili niyang sumakay sa isang Concorde since curious siya kung anong feeling makasakay sa ganong klase ng transportation. Yun lang po.
Selection of transportation mode. Travel by train. Popular daw po ang train noong 19th and early 20th centuries sa places like US, Canada, and Europe. People chose trains because they were cheap, comfortable, safe, and offered scenic views. However, trains can be slow, have limited departure times, and offer poor food. Despite these downsides, comfortable like Amtrak and via rail emphasize the comfort and relaxation of train travel. And next.
Transgender BTS, the
popularity of the train system in Europe has increased not only because of its quality and efficiency, but because of the use of the Eurail Pass. In 1939 daw po, a number of European countries introduced the Eurail Pass, which allowed a traveler to use it for 2 months of unlimited second-class travel on any of the rail systems of the European countries. Halimbawa po nito is yung isa kang estudyante na nais na maglakbay sa iba't ibang bansa sa Europa. Maaari kang kumuha ng student Eurail Pass. Mas mura ito kumpara sa regular na Eurail Pass at nagbibigay daan ito sa'yo na maglakbay sa 16 na bansa gamit ang pangalawang klase na gamit ang pangalawang klase. Sa mga ganitong paraan, mas pinadali ang paglalakbay sa Europa na nagbibigay ng pagkakataon sa mga tao na maranasan ng iba't ibang kultura at tanawin. Next po.
Travel by ship ay nung nung yung ang tawag ito, yung ang halos daw po dito ang kilala po ay yung train, pero yung ship po hindi pa halos na nakikilala kasi po nung ginawa yung ship noong around of 400 BC before Christ era. Ang halos po kung gumagawa nito ay ang gumagamit nito po ay halos ay yung kasi po nung panahon na yun ay minsan may mga gera pa po nun. Kaya po ang gumagamit nito halos ay yung mga pirata. Kaya nung 19th century nakilala saka na ito nakilala sa paglalakbay ng sa pandagat at gamit ang linear na pangkaragatan upang magbigay ito ng mahalagang link sa mga pasahero sa mga kontinente. At sa present ng transportation na pangkaragatan ay mayroong dalawang pangunahing ginagamit na sa pan-travel sa ship. Ang una is ferry, ang ferry ay ginagamit lang po sa isang lokasyon. Ito ay pabalik-balik lang po ng lugar. Pero sa isang lokasyon lang po siya. Tsaka ang next naman po, ang cruise ship naman po is around of multiple fourth of often return back to the starting. Ito po ay ginagamit po nakakapunta po sila sa iba't ibang lugar upang makapag-travel, ganun lang po. Next.
Cruise ship are popular vacation option for several reasons, especially for those with limited time and budget. Short cruise ship typically last only a few days, allowing travelers to experience a new destination without taking a long break from work or other obligation. Even in shorter trips, travelers can explore new places and experience different culture. With everything you need on board, you can avoid packing and unpacking bags, finding hotel or changing airport. This eliminates the hassle and potential sleeplessness associated with frequent travel.
Next na.
Travel by automobile. The real inventor of the automobile was Carl Benz of Mannheim, Germany. In 1885 to 1886, he combined the bicycle and the international combustion ano yun, inline and design the complete vehicle's engine consisting of the engine, chassis, and the transmission. Then came Henry Ford, who in 1908 produced his mobile T-car Bullet with an assembly technique for mass production. However, it was only after World War II that the popularity of the automobile increased significantly. Next. By automobile, the production of the automobile brought about the decline of the train's popularity in most developed countries. The automobile brought about a more random patterns of travel movements, opened up new destination and hastened the development of elaborate networks of automobile-oriented facilities and services along highways and roads. The automobiles estimated tourism by creating attraction along tourist routes made accessible by the automobile. Examples are homes of historical figures, ano yun? Scenic areas, and historic ano yun? Shrines and monuments. Two important aspects of automobile travel are recreational vehicles and car rentals. These two areas have developed so extensively in North America and elsewhere that they are now significant elements of tourism. Next na.
Travel by bus, motor coach. Bus travel is the most flexible and economical transportation noong 90s. Ito daw ang unang transport sakay ng passenger na galing sa US papunta sa intercity. In 1920s naman, may maliit na intercity na pinupunta ng mga tourists. Then, in 1928, na buo ang Greyhound Company. Nung mga bus, ito yung largest private na bus. Nung 90s daw, madali na lang ang pagbiyahe dahil sa bus. Kung dati inaabot pa ng months, tapos minsan inaabot tayo ng mga ilang months days bago pa makarating doon sa pupuntahan natin. Pero ngayon, bago daw na-improve na din yung road bago ang World War II. Cross-country trip time was reduced to 90 hours. Next slide. Ang main reason daw dito ay kaya napili ang bus travel kasi convenient siya at economy. Mas pinili nila ang bus para sa business trip travel. Ang iba hindi pinipili yung bus travels kasi long trip siya. Minsan, kasi pag long trip, parang nangangalay tayong nakaupo lang, tapos minsan hindi pa agad tumitigil yung bus. Tapos, nag-iintay tayo dun eh. Tapos, mas madami yung mga babaeng mas gustong sumakay ng bus kaysa dun sa mga lalaki. Mas gusto kasi nung mga lalaki minsan magmotor na lang, mag-road trip sa gamit yung motor. Hindi naman sa hindi okay, pero mas trip nila yung ganun. Tapos yung mga babae naman parang gusto nilang natatanaw yung mga view na nakaupo lang na parang comfortable sila sa ganung bagay. Pinili nilang gamitin ang bus sa family vacation, sa mga young couples na mas gusto yung mag-travel na nare-relax sila. Then, older people on summer vacation and the retired people. Next na.
Next na. So, nung nagkaroon ng air travel, meron silang airline regulation at yung mga historical context nila. So, sa air regulation aims to ensure the safety, security, and fairness of air travel. It involves setting standards for airlines, regulating fares, and protecting passengers' rights. So, ini-ensure nila yung safety and security ng mga nagta-travel and yung mga sa pagbaba din ng nung mga fares, mamaya wait lang. Papaliwanag ko. Dun sa historical context naman is airline regulation began in the 1920s with the US government awarding contracts to airlines for mall carriage. The Civil Aeronautics Board or CAB was established in 1938 to regulate the airlines providing interstate service including route awards, fare regulation, and safety assurance. Nag-start ito nung 1920s with the US government granting contracts to airlines for mail delivery. And the Civil Aeronautics Board was formed in 1938 to control interstate airlines, including route assignments, fare setting, and safety standards nga. Next. Tapos dun naman sa the regulation niya is the Airline Deregulation Act of 1978 aimed to increase competition and reduce fares. Current regulations, the U.S. Department of Transportation or DOT currently regulates airlines focusing on consumer protection, safety, and security. Airline regulation is a complex and evolving field with ongoing debates about the balance between competition and consumer yon. So yun nga, the Airline Regulation Act of 1978 aimed to boost competition and lower fares. Yun yung sinasabi ko na pagbaba ng fares nila. And ngayon, yung US Department of Transportation or DOT is pinaprioritize nila yung mga consumer na yung safety and security nga nila. And meron sa nangyayari ngayon is may debate na on balance between the competition and consumer protection in airline regulation. So that's all po. Thank you for listening to our presentation of Group 3. Okay na yan, Kiel.